Hello everybody and welcome to Wine Library TV. I'm your host, now say it with me, Gary Vaynerchuk. Alsatian wines, we're going to do an episode on it. Everybody's been asking, it's a beautiful day outside, crisp white wines. I'm going to do it for you. We're going to talk all about Alsace. Before I get into that, I have a confession to make. I'm listening to an obscene amount of Pat Benatar, and I don't know who to talk to about it. So I decided to confess right here, right to you. I don't know what's wrong with me, but I've been listening to it so much that I'm actually scared. Let me know if you listen to anything ridiculous like that. I'm also a huge Lionel Richie fan. All right, back to WLTV. I had to get that off my chest. Lots of house cleaning. Brandon M is on fire and making you look bad. Brandon M has posted an obscene amount of comments in the last couple days. He's going to every episode backwards and posting comments. It's really wild for me to watch. Every second, bloop, Brandon M comment, bloop, Brandon M comment. He's destroying my inbox, but it made me think, you know what? Are you going to let him do that? Are you going to let Brandon M outpost you? I think you may want to follow what Brandon M's doing. Check it out. He's doing some cool stuff. Also, Chris Stan. I just met him. I was taping WLTV for the first time, broken. This is actually a second take because Chris Stan was here. I had to say hello. He's working on that spreadsheet. I'm working on the spreadsheet. It's the first time we met. Great guy. And we're very, very close to finishing up the spreadsheet that everybody's been talking about. It will be up live, hopefully early next week. Also, tons of new viewers. I was checking out stats on my flight back home to the east, and I noticed, you know what? I noticed a lot of new viewers, and I said, you know what? A lot of them missed this. So, episode 64. If you haven't seen it, please check it out and comment on it. I think you'll like it. It's a really rad episode, one of my favorites of all time. So, should we do the episode, or should we just keep on talking? I kind of feel like keeping on talking, but let's do the episode. Alsace. We're going to start with the first wine, which is Jean-Marie Hague Pinot Blanc, 2003, 13 bucks. Or as I like to say, bones. Let's see what we think about that. Let me talk to you a little bit about Alsace. Alsace is a very interesting area. You know, it's in the northeast tip of France, right by Germany. I mean, it's right there. It's basically Germany. It's been Germany twice, or 3 or 4 times. It's changed hands quite a bit. It's got enormous amounts of quality white wines. Riesling, Gewurztraminer, Pinot Blanc, Pinot Gris, Muscat. Tons of complex, food-friendly white wines that I really enjoy. It has one red wine. The Pinot Noir is grown in the Alsace. I don't have one today. We do have a couple in the store. I'm not very high on them. I would stick to Burgundy if you're going to do French Pinot Noir. I know I'm hurting a lot of Alsatian Pinot Noir producers' feelings when I say this, but I just don't think it's the right place to grow Pinot Noir. I've never had anything that's been profound or exciting. So that's my thought on the red wine from the Alsace region. 50 Grand Crus. And that's a lot. There's a lot of Grand Cru vineyards in Alsace, but really it's much more important to know the producers than it is the vineyards, believe it or not, in Alsace. And we've got some great ones here, but some of the guys like Bacchus, Leon Baer, Weinbach that we don't have here today are also very worth seeking out. So other than that, I mean, I think that they're tremendous wines. I've always enjoyed them in the past. I drink a lot of Alsatian whites with my Sancerres in the summertime from the Loire Valley. So this is an area I do enjoy the wines from. And let's see what's going on. So back to the Marie. Hague. Tight little nose. I get a little lemon peel. I get a little bit of blue stone, but nothing too earth-shattering on the nose. I'm not really that into this effort. Pinot Blanc is a tricky one. If you're going to do an Alsatian white, I would recommend a Gewurz or a Riesling over the Pinot Blancs. I find them to be a little watered down. All I find this to be is a little bit better than water with some lemon in it, and that, you know, maybe a rock in there too. Other than that, that's exactly the flavor profile I'm getting here. It's got a little more oomph. It's clean. It's crisp. It's an adequate bottle. You know, it's standard. It's black and white. You know, it's not too exciting, but just not doing it for me. I mean, I don't see spending money on this being a rational decision in any way. So I'm going to say pass with a double Z, and I'm going to say 84 points, 83 points. And I don't know if Parker or Spectator say that's good or bad, but I'm telling you 83 points for a $13 bottle of wine. I know price has no implication, but just not a great wine. Anyway, Albert Mann, 2004, Gewurztraminer. Most of the fruit comes from the Altenburg vineyard, which is a great vineyard, but they didn't mention it. I give Albertmont kudos for using the screw top in a very traditional place in the world. So I think that's a great coup. Good job. And let's see what we think. Much more aromatic on the nose. Really, really, much more. Real funny kind of nose. You know, actually I get a little bit of a chlorine aspect from this nose. Actually, it's very obvious. It's a mixture between chlorine and mango. Almost like a mango pool, if that makes any sense. But, you know, I kind of like that. You know, it's got a very aromatic nose. It's actually very seductive, and I like it. This is a darn good bottle of wine. Great mouthfeel, really nice spiciness going throughout the wine, which is kind of a nice trait for a white bottle of wine. When I say spicy, it's just a zesty spice, little clove, little mango. I get a little oregano as well, and not the kind that you smoke. You know, it's good stuff. This is a nice wine. Wow, nice honey finish, great body. This is a good bottle of wine. Let's give this 89 plus 90 points. I mean, that's real high for a standard Gewurztraminer, and I'll tell you what, Albertmont, you're the man. Let's move on. You're the man. All right, Barmes Boucher, and this is a Slaviner. That's right, Slaviner. And it's a 2004 Via Beans Old Vine Slaviner. Slaviner comes from Austria. It's a very unique wine in the Alsace. Great little crisp wine. A lot of people drink it. I bet 95% of the viewers here have not tasted a Slaviner in their lifetime. So for a $15 bottle of wine, you should definitely go out and try this. Barmes Boucher is a tremendous producer in the Alsace. I'm a huge fan. This nose is awkward. Very awkward. Like my Pat Benatar, statement, awkward. Zend. This is a classic. 93 points, Wine Spectator. This is the Zend Riesling Gewurztraminer. And this is a single vineyard Grand Cru Riesling from what I think is one of the 3 or 4 best producers in all of Alsace. If you've never had a wine from Zend, please go and try one. They are just unbelievable. And this has 9% residual sugar and amazing golden color. I mean, just bursting out of the seams, pearlescent. Just real cool. It's got a really interesting nose. This is like a pineapple dropped in a bucket of gasoline nose. Take out the pineapple and smell it. That's exactly what this smells like. It's got a lot of petroleum. It's got a lot of pineapple. And that's what it's got. It's also, hold on, I almost get a little bit of a mustard, a grape pomme nose on this as well. So now I'm adding to the concoction. Very interesting nose. Wow. Once again, for $25, not as sweet as I expected, considering the residual sugar numbers. It's actually quite dry. It's got a little hint of sweetness on the finish, but a real complexity on the mouthfeel. I get an enormous amount of papaya flavor. I also get a, what are those peas? What are those beans when you have, those things when you go to a sushi place, those little green beans? Eric, help me out here. Edamame. I get an edamame kind of aspect to this as well. Actually, extremely obvious. Once again, pineapple, papaya, mango, very tropical. $75 points, by the way. Chris Stan. I don't know. I'm not as high on this as the Spectator is. I actually expected a little bit more complexity. Ooh, a little pear now in the finish. Sorry, that kind of caught me off guard. might be underestimating. Hold on. No, I'm right. Once again. Just kidding. I'm going to go 91 points on this wine. It's solid. I mean, I really, really like it. I think I almost wanted to like it more. Maybe that's why I'm even giving it a 91. As a matter of fact, you know what? I'm going to give it a 90. Got to be really true to the wine. I don't know if I think I might even like this better. I mean, it's a really great effort. It's a tremendous producer. It just didn't blow me away. I mean, there's a lot going on in the flavors. It's very, very interesting. It's very much worth the price, and it's a great quality wine. I just think my expectations were a little high, and I think that's, kind of like Munich. Did you see that movie? I would have rated it higher if my expectations weren't through the roof. So, let's move on. Move these wines out of the way. Having a lot of fun. It's great to be back in the Jers. And let's do some questions. Eugene says, if you like Sauvignon Blanc, how come you never talk about white Bordeaux? I think there's some incredible bargains there. Eugene, I agree. I just don't drink that much Sauvignon Blanc from Bordeaux. But I agree, there are some bargains. I find myself always much more inclined to enjoying Loire Valley Sauvignon Blancs from France. And most of the Sauvignon Blanc Bordeaux, white Bordeaux that I like from Bordeaux are expensive. I don't always think of them as tremendous values. But there are some $8 to $15 wines that are good. And you definitely gave me an idea, and we will do something on it. Bordeaux, the white wines. I think that could be really cool, and I thank you for the idea, Eugene. Thanks. Chad O says, in response to Where Am I, the episode a couple days ago when I was obviously at Yahoo. Gary, are you in New York trying to buy the Jets? Chad O, funny you said that. Anybody that knows me, going back to my 8th grade yearbook, knows that my ambition is to buy the New York Jets. So, Woody Johnson, I know you're watching. Woody, listen, don't let the value get too high. I need about another 20, 25 years. But you know I'm coming knocking, and I want the team. I want it bad. Julia says, hey Gary, what about a sake episode for all those folks into sushi? Well, I just did the unamami or whatever, so does that count? I guess not. Julia, absolutely, it's coming. I've got something really cool for it. I really want to do a sake episode. We will do it. The Gosling says, great lunchbox. Do you actually use it? Funny you said that. I do use the lunchbox. As a matter of fact, I use it to carry around drinks. Like, for example, Ting. You may or may not know why this Ting is here. If you do, then you're hardcore WL TV. God, is Ting good. Heavy layers of grapefruit on this one. I'm getting a lot of nice residual sugar on the finish. It's really crisp, spritzy, refreshing. 90 points for my good friend Ting. I wonder how many people know about the Ting. Finally, the question of the day. My answer to yesterday's question of the day was Laugh Olympics. I'm sure you saw me. I posted in the comments field. It was a great cartoon. I loved it. I loved the competition aspect of it. I like all competition. Question of the day. I was thinking something cool when I was in California, and here it is. And I think everybody should answer this. If you were to produce a wine, you made a wine, you just retired from what you do, maybe taking photography or whatever you do, and you retired and you created a winery, what would the name of your wine be? I want to hear it. I'll give you my answer tomorrow. We'll see you next time on WLTV.